Hello and a very warm welcome to all the viewers of Curiosity Hive. Well, in our today's video, we are going to take on the heuristic problem solving for class 5. We already did a heuristic problem solving for class 4, and I highly recommend the students of class 5 to also take a look at that video because it gives you an insight on how to solve these heuristic problems. Now we have understood that heuristics is a practical method of problem solving technique which uses mental shortcuts so that you can get to an answer or a decision quickly. Well, this method not only helps you to solve the problem effectively and quickly, but also gives you a clear thinking and understanding on how you approach these word problems. Now, in this video, we are going to take a look at 6 heuristic models and we will solve 2 questions per heuristic model. And then at the end of this video, we will take on a quiz which will test us on all of these heuristic models that we go through in this video. So I request you to stay with me till the very end and attempt these quiz, because this not only helps you to get an edge on heuristic problem solving, but also allows you to get more practice and better yourself in this. So as I said, there are 6 heuristic models. The first type of heuristic model is a model problem solving, or by drawing a diagram, you can get to the answer of the problem. So without any delay, let's get started. But before that, do not forget to like, share and subscribe Curiosity Hive. So let's start with the first question in the heuristic model 1 question section. This question reads, Ria had 26 more ribbons than Hina. After Ria gave Hina 54 ribbons, Hina had 3 times as many ribbons as her. This her is Ria. How many ribbons did Hina have at first? So let's solve this using blocks or models. So here I have Hina with some ribbons which I don't know, but I know that Ria has more ribbons than Hina. Here it says that Ria has 26 more ribbons than Hina. So the extra portion is 26. Now it also says that Ria is going to give 55 ribbons to Hina. So this is 55 ribbons. Now if we know that one portion of 55 is 26, then this portion, the remaining portion, would be 55 minus 26, which will give us 29 ribbons. Now the reason we find these 29 ribbons is if we extrapolate this line to the above bar, we know that this portion is also 29 in Hina's bar. So now let's go to the next step where Ria gives Hina 55 ribbons. So 55 ribbons gets added to Hina and these 55 ribbons are removed from Ria's bar. So this is our new bar formation. And then they have given this information that after giving 55 ribbons, the new portion of Hina's ribbons is 3 times that of Ria's ribbons. So that means the new R, let's call this R only. So Hina has 3 times this R portion. So RH is equal to 3R. Now just look at the images. Both of these H bars are the same. It is just that we are depicting the new H bar differently. So now let's look at both of these H bars. They are exactly the same. So you can notice that 2R, so 2 portions of R is equal to this portion. Hence 2R is equal to 29 plus 55. When we add this together, we get 2R is equal to 84. And to find R, we need to divide 84 by 2. So we get R to be 42. That means these 2 empty blocks are 42. And now let's see what is the question asked, is that how many ribbons did Hina have at first? So that is this orange portion that we need to find. So Hina had 42 plus 29 ribbons, which is equal to 71 ribbons. So this is how we compute the answer by using blocks. Well, let's look at the next question, which also belongs to the same heuristic model 1 section. So it will have the same way of solving. Well, you can try to solve this by yourself. Read the question and pause the video and then come back to solve it with me. So let's read the question. Kanye and Jamie had same number of marbles at first. After Kanye lost 87 marbles and Jamie gave away 25 marbles, Jamie had 3 times as many marbles as Kanye. How many marbles did the two of them have all together at first? So, for those who want to solve it yourself, go ahead and pause the video. And now, let's solve this. So, from the first statement, we know that Kanye and Jamie had same number of marbles. So, I draw 2 blocks of same length. Now, after Kanye lost 87 marbles and Jamie gave away 25 marbles. So, this is our resulting figure. What happens is Jamie has 3 times as many marbles as Kanye. That means this portion of Kanye fits into Jamie's block 3 times exactly. So, we need to find how many marbles did the two of them have all together at first. Now, all together, that means the sum of both the blocks is nothing but 4 equal units plus 87 plus 25. So, this is going to give us our ultimate answer. But before that, we need to find how much each unit is. Now, if you look at the block and if you look at this portion, you can easily equate because both of these block sizes are same. So, this 87 is nothing but 2 unit plus 25. So, I have my equation here. So, my 2 units is 87 minus 25 and hence my 2 units are 62. Now, to find 1 unit, I need to divide 62 by 2. So, which will give me the answer as 31. So, each of this unit is 31. Now, I should find the 4 equal units of marbles plus 87 plus 25. So, the 4 equal units are 4 times 31, which is 124. Hence, altogether, the boys had 124 plus 87 plus 25 marbles. So, the answer is the boys have 236 marbles altogether. I hope you found it easy now. And remember to keep these tips in mind because they will be useful when you head on to take on the quiz, which has the heuristic model 1 type questions as well. So this was heuristic model 1. Remember the tips because you'll need it when you take on the quiz. Well, now we are heading to heuristic model 2, which is a method that allows you to guess and check the answer. Let's see what it has. So here we have heuristic model 2 question, which reads, there are 20 tricycles and bicycles at a park. These tricycles and bicycles have a total of 52 wheels. How many tricycles are there? Well, in these type of questions, we are going to guess the answers and then check whether it validates the condition given. So for this, we are going to make a table of number of tricycles and bicycles and hence what are the number of wheels, and then we'll try to add them up to find whether the total of the wheels are 52 or not as given in the question. So let's take our first guess. So generally we take the middle number or half of the number of the bicycles and tricycles that are mentioned to check our answer. So I will start with 10 tricycles. So if I have 10 tricycles, now there are 3 wheels in a tricycle. So the total number of wheels of tricycle is 10 times 3, which is 30. Now if my tricycles are 10, since the total of number of cycles are 20, my number of bicycles will be 20 minus 10, which is equal to 10. And now for these 10 bicycles, the number of wheels will be 10 into 2, which is equal to 20. And now that we have the wheels of both tricycles and bicycles, let's find out if their sum equals 52. So we have 30 plus 20, which is equal to 50, which does not validate the question condition. So whenever the answer is less than what you need, we need to increment by 1. So what I will do in the next row is I will take 11 tricycles. 11 tricycles means 11 times 3, 33 number of wheels. Number of bicycles will be 20 minus 11, which is equal to 9. And for these 9 bicycles, the number of wheels is 9 times 2, which is 18. Now let's add 33 and 18. Well, this gives us 51, which is still not correct because it does not validate the condition. So since it is less than 52, I again add one more 2 tricycles to guess and check. So that means I have 12 tricycles now. Now 12 times 3 gives me the number of wheels of tricycles, which is 36. And the number of bicycles would be 20 minus 12, which is equal to 8. And for these 8 bicycles, the wheels that it would have is 8 times 2, 16. Now let me add 36 and 16 to validate my condition. Well, the sum of this is indeed 52. So this gives us the answer that 12 tricycles would be there in the park. So this is how we use the guess and check method. Your important thing for you is to identify the parameters which you need to validate the final condition of the question. Well, let's go to the next question of this type. If you want, after reading the question, you can pause the video and try to solve it yourself. And when you unpause it, well, I'll be here solving this with you. So let's read it. A delivery man was paid $10 for every pizza he delivered on time. $4 would be deducted from his pay if he delivered a pizza late. On a particular day, the delivery man delivered 25 pizzas in a day but only earned $194. How many pizzas did he deliver late on that day? Try to understand and get the parameters, draw your table and use the guess and check method to try this out. Well, let me show you how I have done it. So here is my table where I put number of deliveries on time and hence what is the earning for the timely deliveries. Then I have a column for number of deliveries which are done late, and because of that what is the penalty for these late deliveries. And then I need to subtract 1 and 2, that is the timely delivery revenue minus the penalties, and then check if the total earnings match 194. Now we know that there are 25 pizzas that are delivered in a day. Now how will you arrive at the first guess number? Well, what you do is check this. Now if 25 pizzas, all of them are delivered on time, he would earn 25 times 10, 250. But the answer is 194. That means something is deducted from 25. Well, let's go to 20. Now if 20 pizzas are delivered, he gets 20 times 10, 200. And then there is penalty of 5 pizzas. Now 5 late pizzas means $4 deducted. That is 20 deducted. So 200 minus 20 is 180, which does not match the answer, but we get to know that that could be this number that we should start from. So I will start from 20. So my revenue for 20 timely deliveries will be 20 times 10, which is 200. If 20 is delivered on time, the remaining 5 are delivered late, and the penalty would be 5 times 4, which is 20. Now we'll subtract the revenue from the penalties, which is equal to 180. Now as I told you earlier, since this is less than our target, we are going to add here the number of timely deliveries. So I'll make my next guess to be 21. So if 21 are delivered on time, the earning will be 21 times 10, 210. And the number of pizzas not delivered on time would be 25 minus 21, which is 4. And hence the penalty for 4 of these late deliveries would be 4 times 4, which is 16. Now 16 will get subtracted from 210. So I will get 194. So I get my answer here. So the right answer to this question is that 21 are delivered on time, hence 4 pizzas were delivered late on that day. I hope you've understood this method. This is a very good and simple method to solve the question without using complex equations or without using any equations at all. Now with that, let's go to the next method, which is heuristic model 3. Well, it is not my favorite, but I must say that we should understand and know every method, because maybe this method is not my favorite but could be yours, and you may find it easy to solve the question using this model. The question reads, Mr. Chang has some apples to share with his students. If he gives each student 7 apples, he would have 3 apples short. If he gives each student 5 apples, he would have 9 apples left. How many students did Mr. Chang have? Well, you can also solve this using the model method or the diagram method. But let me show you this one so that you know one more way of solving this. Now here we are going to make a list. In our list, we have to find out the number of students. That is the final answer that we need. Now let's understand the parameters. So first condition says that if he gives each student 7 apples, he would have 3 apples short. That means we need to find multiple of 7 because each student has been given 7 apples. And then we need to get the scenario 1 where we should subtract this multiple by 3. Now let's take the next equation. Now the next condition is that each student was given 5 apples. Then he would have 9 extra apples left. That means the number of apples given would be a multiple of 5. And then our scenario 2 is that adding this to the 9 apples because 9 apples are extra. So we have scenario 1 and scenario 2. And when we find the number which will give both the scenarios to be same, that would be our answer. So now that I have list, so let's consider if Mr. Chang only had 1 student. Well, as per the first scenario, he would have given 7 apples. Now, if he does that, then he'll be 3 apples short. That means actually he has 7 minus 3, which is equal to 4 apples here. In the second scenario, he would have given multiple of 5 to each student. So it will be 5 times 1, which is 5 apples. And as per scenario 2, if he gives away 5 apples, he will be left with 9 apples. So if he give away multiple of 5, he is left with 9, which is nothing but 14. Now the difference in scenario 1 and 2 is not 0, it is equal to 10. So this is not the right answer. Let's try, suppose he has 2 students. If he has 2 students, this would be 7 times 2. Because each one will get 7 apples, which is equal to 14. And as per the scenario 1, he would be short of 3 apples, which is equal to 11. Well, in the second scenario, 2 person would have got 5 apples each. So it would be 5 times 2, which is equal to 10. And as per the scenario, if he would have given 10 apples, he would be left with 9 more apples, which is 19. Now again we have 11 and 19. The difference of the 2 is 9, which is again not true. Let's try if he has 3 students. Well, 7 times 3 is 21 and 21 minus 3 will give me 19. Now 5 times 3 is 15 and 15 plus 9 will give me 24. So this is 19. And this is 24. Again, it is not equal to 0. This is equal to 5. So this also is not true. Let's try if he has 4. What if he has 4 students? Well, in that case, it would be 7 times 4, which is 28. And 28 apples, if given, he would be short by 3, which is equal to 25. And in second scenario, he would have given 5 times 4, which is 20. And if he has given 20, as per the second scenario, there would be 9 apples left, which is 29. Now, 25 and 29, the difference is 4. So, this is also not good. Let's try if he has 5 apples. Well, I'll write the multiples. Multiple of 7 for 5 is 35. And here, multiple of 5 for 5 is 25. I will subtract this by 3. So I will get 32 and I will add 9 here, so I will get 34. Again, there's a difference of 2, which is not true again. Let's try if he has 6 students. Well, 6 times 7 is 42. And in second scenario, if 5 apples were given, well, 30 would have been given. And as per the first scenario, if 42 were given, he would have been short by 3 apples. That is equal to 39. And in the second scenario, if 30 were given, he would have had 9 apples extra, which is equal to 39. Now, both of them have the same number, so the difference would be 0. That means 6. That means this is our right answer. So that means Mr. Chang has 6 students. Let's look at the next question, which uses the same method. Well, if you want, you can pause and try it yourself. Let me go ahead and solve this for you. This question reads that Mr. Tan has some candies to give his children. If he gives each child 8 candies, then there would be 5 left. If he gives each child 9 candies, he would be short of 3 candies. How many children does Mr. Tan have? Now again, in these kind of questions, it will always present to you 2 such scenarios and you need to check the numbers for both these scenarios. Well, let's plot our list. Now we need to find the number of children, and as per the first scenario, each child is given 8 candies, and if this is done, 5 are left. That means there are 5 extra candies. And as per second scenario, each child is given 9 candies. That means we need to find multiple of 9. And if this is done, Mr. Tan is 3 candies short. That means we have to subtract 3 from the answer. And then we compare both the scenarios if they are same or not. Now, definitely it cannot be 1 because we can do quick calculation here. Now, 1 times 8 is 8 and 8 plus 5 would be 13 because 5 are left. So, we will add it. And 1 times 9 is 9. Minus 3 would be equal to 6. So this is lesser than this. So you can do some mental maths and definitely eliminate 1 or even 2, the smaller numbers, because multiple of 8 with 2 is 16. 16 plus 5 is 21. And 9 times 2 is 18. So 18 is already less than 21. Plus we are subtracting 3 from it. So definitely they will not be equal. So we eliminate 2 also. So like that we can eliminate quickly in this list method. So let me try directly with 4 children, assuming that 4 children are there. So how I will do it is 4 times 8 is 32. Then as per scenario 1, 5 candies will be left. So we add 32 plus 5, which is 37. Then we go to the next scenario where each will get 9 candies. So 9 times 4 is 36. And if they do so, 3 candies are short. So 36 minus 3 is equal to 33. Now both of them have a difference of 4. So then that is not really the right answer. So if we go 5, probably the difference would be 3. 6 would give us the difference of 2. 7 would give us the difference of 1. Let's try 8. 8 times 8 is 64. And 5 candies will be left. So 64 plus 5, which will give me 69. And 8 times 9 is 72. I hope you remember your tables. And then it would be 3 candies short. So that is also equal to 69. So the difference is 0. So we have rightly assumed that how as it reduces the difference. So our answer is 8. Well, once you find the difference, you skip those many steps because each step will just have one less of a difference. And when you come to 0, so you go to that number and try to compute. This is a fun method to solve, though lengthy, but you can try it out. Now let's go to our next model method. Now with that, we are going to attend to heuristic model 4 and 5, which is to identify a pattern and then apply it to the question. Now let's read the pattern question for this heuristic. Now here there are 3 diagrams given, diagram 1, 2 and 3. And these have double arrow lines. There are 3 questions asked. Let's see how we solve it. First question is, how many double arrows are there in diagram 5? So we need to identify a pattern here. Well, 1 has 4 lines, 2 has 7 lines, third diagram has 10 lines. If you count the lines, you can find out. So if you want to identify a pattern, so if this is number of lines, the number of lines as it increases, your answer is 3 times the number of lines plus 1. So I write it as 3n plus 1 because 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So like that, if we go on, we need to find for diagram 5, what will it be? Well, for diagram 5, if n is 5, 3n plus 1 would be 3 times 3, that is 15, plus 1, which is equal to 16. You can try this out and you will find that diagram 5 has 16 double arrowed line. So this is one way of identifying a pattern and then coming to an answer. So you should do more practice so that you can get the pattern quickly by looking at the numbers. Now let's see what is asked in B. They say, how many double arrowed line are there in diagram 17? So the same thing they are asking, we will just replace 17 in this equation. So 17, that means 3 times 17 plus 1. 3 times 17 is 51 plus 1, which is equal to 52. So our answer for B would be 52 lines with double arrows. And now we have to do the other way. So they have given that there are 82 double arrow lines. That means already this is 82. So what would be the n? Well, that means what they have given is that 3n plus 1 is already 82. So that means my 3n, I will move the 1 this side, will be 82 minus 1, 81. And n will be equal to 81 divided by 3, which is nothing but 27. So this would be the number of lines in diagram 27. So this is the way of solving these questions. Now the next heuristic model or heuristic 5 is also to identify a pattern and then solve it using a SMART method. So let's read this. On day 1, I saved $1. On day 2, I saved $2. Every day, I saved $1 more than the previous day. How much would I save from day 1 to day 20? So what is happening is every day I'm saving 1 and then 2 and then 3. So my saving is nothing but the number of days, so on and so forth. So I will just go 20, 19, 18, 17. So what I'm trying to do is, if you look at this pattern, if you add the first and last number, you will get 21. Similarly, if you add the second number and the second last number, let's make a different sign, you will again get 21. So you have to find the mid ground. Now, since this is an even number, it will exactly be at 10. That means we can multiply 21 10 times and this will give us the answer, which is 210. So this is our right answer. So he would have saved $210. So I hope it's been going good so far. Let's take a look at heuristic model 6, which is working backwards to get to the answer of the question. The question reads, a train left the first station with some passengers on board. At the second station, 154 passengers alighted and 63 passengers boarded. At the third station, 384 passengers alighted and 276 passengers boarded. There are 498 passengers in the train then. How many passengers are there in the train at first? Now in these kind of questions, we start from the last point. That is, we will start with 498 passengers. And one key thing to be remembered here is that when we do our backward solution solving, we are going to reverse the operation. That means we are going to subtract the passengers that boarded and we are going to add the passengers that alighted, because that is indication that how many passengers were there in the first. So let's start with a table where we have number of passengers alighted and boarded, and the next column is calculate backwards. So how we are going to compute it is, we start with 498, then we take into consideration 276 passengers that are boarded. Then after this we would take into consideration 384 passengers who are alighted. Then we will go back and then we take into consideration the 63 passengers who boarded. Finally, the last step for our computation, but rather the first statement in our question, was 154 passengers who alighted. So this is our last leg of the solution when we calculate backwards. Now, as I said, we need to reverse. So for the first line, we are going to subtract 276 from 498, because we need to find how many passengers were there in the beginning. So the ones who boarded should actually be subtracted because they were not there in the beginning. They have got added later on. So I subtract and I get 222. Now I move to the second line, which is 384 alighted. That means I'm going to add it to my 222 because alighted means they were present in the train earlier. That leaves me with 606. Let's go to the next line, which says 63 boarded. So boarded means I'm going to subtract it from 606, leaving me with 543. And finally, 543 alighted. That means they were present in the train, only then they can alight. So I will add 154 to 543, giving me 697, which indicates that there were 697 passengers in the train at first. Well, this is a bit of a thinking, because once you think, you will understand why we are reversing the operations. Let's try another question in this genre. So let's do the next question of the same genre. So here we have this question that reads, Bella saved some money for shopping. Her father added $100 to her savings. She spent $59 on a dress and $14 less on a bag. She had $26 left. How much money did Bella save, or how much did she have the saving for at the very beginning? So, as we had learnt earlier, we'll start with the last leg, which is $26 were left with her. And remember to reverse the operations when you work backwards. So I will make my table with the saved amount, which was 26. Now from 26, she had spent 59 on dress. So 59 on dress that was spent will be added to 26, which is 85, because she would have spent from her saving itself. And then 14 less on a bag. Well, spending on the bag, the cost of the bag is 14 less, which is 59 minus 14, which is 45. So we will add 45 to 85, because again, spending means she is spending from her savings. So this is a part of her saving. So we will add it to 85, which will give us 130. Now the last statement for our computation and the first statement in our question is that her father gives her $100. Now this is not her saving, this is given to her externally. So we'll subtract the $100 from her amount saved, leaving us with 30. So Bella had originally saved $30 for her shopping. I hope you have understood it. It's not very difficult, but it needs you to think carefully. Well, with that, we have covered all the types of question of different type of heuristic models. Well, I hope you have understood each of these heuristic models, and if not understood, you've at least got some knowledge or some information about it. Try it out in the quiz that is coming to you, and you can drop me your suggestions, your answers in the comment box. So let's start the quiz. There will be 5 questions testing you on all of these heuristic models. Take your time, pause the video if you need more time, and then match the answer that will flash after 20 seconds of showing the question to you. Here we go. first question reads, Ella and Anne went shopping for Halloween. They started with the same amount of money. Ella spent $97 on a costume and Anne spent $45 on a mask. In the end, Anne had 3 times as much money as Ella. How much money did Anne have at first? Remember, this is Heuristic Model 1, which uses the diagram or the block method to solve the question. Your time starts now. If you want, you can pause the video and take more time to solve this. Well, I hope you've got the answer. The right answer is Anne had $123 at first. The next question reads, a child ticket to the zoo cost $18. An adult ticket cost $10 more than the child ticket. A tour of 15 people went to the zoo and paid a total of $320. How many children were there in the group? Remember, this is a heuristic model 2 type of question where we guess and check. So try it out. Well, I hope you've got the answer right. The answer is that there were 10 children in the group. Let's head to the next question, which reads, Mrs. Rutherford bakes some cupcakes to share among some neighbors. If she gives each neighbor 11 cupcakes, she would be short of 6 cupcakes. If she gives each neighbor 9 cupcakes, she would have 12 more cupcakes left. How many neighbors share her cupcakes? Well, this is a listing of the method, getting the 2 scenarios, using the multiples and the scenario, and then check if the scenarios give the same number to find your answer. Pause the video if you need more time. Well, the answer to this question is that there are 9 neighbors who share her cupcakes. Let's go to the next question, which is a pattern matching and then finding the answer question. Well, the question reads, some students are involved in a recycling project. On first day, they recycle 1 can. On second day, they recycle 4 cans. On third day, they recycle 9 cans. And on fourth day, they recycle 16 cans. Now, based on the same pattern of recycling, so this pattern you have to identify and answer questions A, that is how many cans did they recycle on 6th day, B, how many cans did they recycle on the 21st day, and C, on which day did they recycle 169 cans. I hope you remember the method. Try to solve it. Pause the video if you need more time. Well, I hope you've got it right. The answers are flashing below. Now, let's head to the final question of our quiz. This is a heuristic model 6 which uses or teaches you to calculate backwards to get the answer. The question reads, I was thinking of a number. I added 24 to the number. Then I multiplied the sum by 5. Finally, I subtracted 18 from the result to get 147. What number was I thinking of? Remember the tricks and tips. I hope you're able to solve it. Well,
I am sure you would have got the right answer, which is number 9. I hope you enjoyed these questions. These are from the Singapore Maths Curriculum, and for more practice, you can get these books from the Singapore booking store or order these books as well. These are the heuristic strategies or problem solving with heuristic books by different publishers.
I hope it was an easy quiz for you with your newfound knowledge on heuristics. Well, with this, we will end the video. If you have any queries or any suggestions, you can reach us at any of our social media handles. So do keep connected with your comments and suggestions because it will help us to improve our deliverables and also help you where you need it most. Well, with that, I take your leave. Till we meet again, take care.